Hi, I'm Sophie and welcome to this yoga for neck and shoulders. So we'll start seated, hands on the knees. Just take a few moments just to arrive. You can close down the eyes if that feels good, or you can keep them open with a soft focus. Just a few breaths. And then with those breaths, start to inhale, lift the shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, draw the shoulder blades down the back. Inhale, shoulders up to ears. Exhale, draw the shoulder blades down, open out through the chest. One last time. Inhale, exhale. Nice. And then inhale, reach the hands over the head. Exhale, the left hand comes to the right knee and the right hand is behind. So we just take a little seated twist. Inhale to lift out of the pelvis. Exhale, just to twist that a little bit deeper. And maybe you can look over the right shoulder, or maybe just wherever feels comfortable for the neck. Inhale, back through center, arms reach over the head. Exhale, over to the other side, right hand to left knee, left hand behind. And again, use that breath. The inhale breath lifts, the exhale breath twists. A little bit deeper, but not too deep. Just know that this is quite early in this practice, so don't push into anything that feels uncomfortable. One last breath, inhale. Exhale, and then re-twist through the center. Exhale, hands to the knees. And we'll just take some little circles with the hips. So the chest goes in one direction, round in little circles, just moving through the hips a little bit while we've been seated. And then in the other direction, round. Just get some movement into that lower back, even though this is for neck and shoulders. It's important to get the back moving. And then come back to the center. Drop the chin down towards the chest and just start to feel that stretch in that really meaty part of the upper back, the neck. If you're quite flexible, maybe you need a little bit more. So just place the hands on the head. We're not pulling the head down. That extra weight of the hands just really increases that stretch. Stretching those tight neck muscles where we just hold so much tension. And inhale, head back to center, right ear over to the right shoulder. So we're just stretching this time the left hand side of the neck. Maybe you can feel it a little bit in the shoulders. This time, if you want a little bit more, that left hand reaches out to the side of the body. And just notice how that increases that stretch. Again, if you felt it just with the hand on the knee, just staying there. And then back through center, over to the side. So left ear, to left shoulder, and again you can stay here or you can reach that right hand out. Just feel that stretch. Breathe. If it's uncomfortable, just come back to that breath. The breath will help move through these uncomfortable feelings from deep stretching. Inhale back to center. So this time drop the chin down. Move it towards the right shoulder. So we're aiming for that meaty part of the back, but just the left side this time. So play about with the position of the chin. This will feel different for everybody. And again, if you want a little bit more, hand on the head, not pulling down, just resting. Release the hand if it's on the head, roll that chin through to the other side. Again, playing about with the position, different for everybody. And then coming all the the way back through centre. This time lift the chin up to the ceiling, so it's stretching down the front of the neck. Opening out through the chest, the shoulders. Draw the head back to centre. Inhale to reach the hands high. Palms come to touch, drawing the palms down towards the centre of the chest. Interlace the fingers and then press the palms away. As you press them away, open out through the shoulder blades, really round that back, drop the chin. Inhale, reach the palms up to the ceiling. Release the hands, this time interlace the fingers behind the back. Draw the hands down towards the bottom as you lift the chest. Again, feeling that stretch in the front of the shoulders, the chest. And then release the hands. So we're going to roll on into an all fours position. I forgot to say that at some point you might need a block. So if you want to grab a block or some books or anything that's just going to bring the ground a little bit closer. And we'll just work through some cat-cow. So the wrists are under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Inhale to lift the chest, lift the tailbone. Exhale to round the back. Really press the hands into the mat and just release the shoulder blades away from each other. Inhale, sweep the chest between the upper arms. Look to the sky. Exhale to round. And then coming back to a neutral position. Taking the right hand up into the sky. If this is too much on the shoulders, don't worry, we're not going to be here long. And then sweeping that hand underneath the body, coming onto the outside edge of that arm. The head rests on the ground. And use that left hand to press into that twist again. Not going too deep if it feels uncomfortable. So this time maybe feeling the stretch on the outside of the shoulder on the right arm. Inhale back through centre, over to the other side. Left hand reaches high. Exhale to thread the needle, arm underneath the body. Taking that twist on the other side, and again, maybe you feel a stretch on that shoulder that's on the floor. Inhale all the way back to the centre. And then just lowering the body onto the ground. We're going to come into Sphinx pose. So the forearms are on the mat, the elbows are drawing in towards the rib cage. And drop the head down. So this time you can feel that stretch again at the back of the neck. Take a few breaths here, in through the nose, out through the nose. And then lower the chest to the earth, bringing the hands to the corner of the mat, making little tents so you're on the fingertips. Inhale to lift the chest. Exhale, that right shoulder drops to the centre as you look over the left. Inhale to lift. Exhale over to the other side. I'm going to do this a few times. You can go at your own pace. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale to lower. Inhale back through the centre and then drop the chest down. Hands come underneath the shoulders. We're going to press back to a downward facing dog. So hips are high into the sky, feet are hip width apart, hands are shoulder width apart. And just let the head hang heavy and feel that release in the neck. Take a few breaths. Just releasing from all those seated postures. Maybe you can pedal through the feet. And And then drop back down onto the knees, untuck the toes and start to sit back. So we're going to use this block as a little platform. So we take the right hand up into the sky and let it drop down the centre of the back. And maybe just for a few seconds, bring in that left hand to meet the elbow. Release that back down. So we're going to aim to put the elbow onto the block. So just using the left hand, place that right elbow on the block, and the height of the block can be wherever feels comfortable. I'd suggest probably starting here or here, but if you know you're quite flexible, you can move to that position. So elbow on the block, and the hips and the knees are in line. So we're in that sort of all fours position. That left hand can be wherever feels comfortable. And we're just using the block to stretch through that shoulder. So the right hand is in the centre of the back. If you've got two blocks, you can do this at the same time. So you can do both sides at the same time. But just know that that increases the intensity. So at least if you've got one hand down, you can adjust the intensity of the stretch. Gently coming all the way out, moving the block to the other side. Sitting back, left hand reaches up down the centre of the back. Maybe use that hand just to bring that elbow a little bit closer to the ear. And then moving forward, so placing the meaty part of the elbow on the block, drop the chest down. Feel that stretch down the underside of the arm. Breathe into that uncomfortableness if this feels a bit tight. And then to release, move the block out of the way. We'll press back to that downward facing dog. And then just start to walk the feet to the hands nice and slowly, no rush to get to the top of the mat. When you do, we're just going to take a forward fold. So you can let the hands hang heavy, you can catch hold of opposite elbows. Deep bend in the knees, the chest might meet the thighs. And then gently rolling all the way up to standing nice and slowly. And then take the hands, reach them over the head, palms touch. Gather that palms touch to the centre of the chest. Interlace the fingers, press the palms away again, stretching out through the shoulder blades. Inhale, lift the hands high. Exhale, release, gripping the hands behind the back. Interlace the fingers, lift the chest. Exhale, folding forwards. And you can keep the hands on the lower back, or you can start to lift the palms up into the sky. So this depends on the flexibility of the shoulders. So if this is unreachable, just staying here with the hands on the lower back. Try not to press into the wrist just to think that you've got the pose. This can really put some pressure in your wrist. So think about the palms of the hands drawing towards each other. So it's harder, but it's a lot kinder on the wrists. Inhale, coming all the way back up to stand. Keeping the fingers interlaced, and we're going to take the grip over to the left hip. So the hands are still interlaced, but they're just resting on that left hip. And then dropping that left ear over to the left shoulder. Feel that stretch again. Down that right shoulder, the neck. And again, you can play about with the position of the head. If there's something really niggly that you want to stretch out. Inhale back to centre, sweeping the hands over to the other hip. over to the right hand side. Drop that right ear to the right shoulder, and again feel that stretch down the left hand side. Release the hands through the center. Inhale to reach, exhale folding forwards. And taking hold of the big toe with the two peace fingers, so grip the big toe. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, the elbows draw out to the side of the body as the head hangs heavy. So using that grip of the toes to deepen that stretch. Feel the stretch in the back, in between the shoulder blades again. Releasing the grip, coming down into a squat position and gently rolling all the way onto the bottom. So last little stretch that we're going to take is a shoulder stand. If you've got really any major problems in your neck, maybe give this one a miss. You can just come to lay on the back of your body or find some other stretch that suits you today. If you're taking shoulder stand, the hands come down by the side. And you can use a little bit of momentum so you don't have to press the legs straight back. If you want to sit up and roll back, that's fine. So use the legs, press them up into the air and take hold of the lower back with the hands. So already maybe you can feel that stretch in the neck. Don't worry too much about the position of the feet. Thinking about the neck, making sure that you keep the gaze to the center, not looking over to the side. If you want an extra stretch in the neck, the feet drop behind the head onto the floor. If this is too much, just stay in with the feet lifted. And stay in here for as long as feels comfortable. If you've had enough, gently rolling all the way back down, nice and controlled. Hands come to the earth, lowering the bottom down, nice and controlled. Knees, feet come to the floor. Take a moment with a neutral spine. If you want to, you can hug the knees into the chest. Gently rock from side to side, so give that lower back a little bit of love, massaging it on the ground. And then gently making your way up to that seated position where we started this practice. Cross-legged or wherever feels comfortable. Hands on the knees. Just take a few moments just to let those stretches, those movements just absorb in your body. Come back to that breath. Last few moments for yourself today. Maybe thanking yourself for giving, to dedicate this time for your practice, just some time for yourself. We'll gather the hands to meet at the heart centre. Thank you everybody for your practice today. Namaste.